Cause that's what I do. I'm going prison, and I'm going with you. You got one job. You bring the beer. I get the bobbers and the worms. I'll be right over here.
Hi, I'm Rick, and this weekend we're going to make some baby back ribs. Now the thing about baby back ribs that everybody wants to know, how do you get them tender? A lot of people boil their ribs. If you boil your ribs, I'm going to come to your house and take your grill away, because that's not the way you make them tender. Low and slow is the way to go. Now, first thing you need to do is on your ribs, when you pick them out, get some with just a little bit of marbling on them. Now, one of the most important things you need to do before you put these things on the grill is take off the membrane on the back side. And I'm going to show you how to do that real quick, because you can't cook it and you can't eat it. So, what we're going to do, we're going to take and make a little cut right here between the membrane and the meat. And I'll show you all how to do this. Alright, so we're cutting into this membrane here. Get it to where we can get it off. And if you cut it right, you should be able to just pull it off. See that thing? And once you get all this off, you're just going to want to toss it out. Can't really do nothing with it. But there you go. Now, alright, so now we're going to flip these jokers over. Grill Queen, can you hand me that towel right there, please? Kitty, my Grill Queen. Thank you, baby.
You're welcome.
Alright, now, since we're actually going to make 2 half racks here, I'm going to go ahead and split them. It's not a good idea to split these into individual ribs before you put them on the grill, because they will dry out real quick. So half racks are about the smallest you want to go. Now we're not going to season them right now. It takes about 3 hours to cook these. Now if you don't have 3 hours to put these on the grill, order a pizza, because you ain't going to want to rush it. And our secret marinade, 1, maybe 2, you want to put these meat side down. Pour your beer in there. And the trick to it is to make sure that the meat side is covered. You don't have to cover the entire rib, but just make sure as much of the meat is covered as possible. And of course, you're never going to get a completely even fill on these. So there we go. Now, what we're going to want to do with these is we're going to want to cover them in foil and put them in the fridge overnight. Usually 24 hours is the best way to go. If you're in a rush, order a pizza. Don't rush your ribs. So we're just going to go ahead and cover these up with some foil, pop them in the fridge, and we will see you guys tomorrow when we put them on the grill. Alright, well, it's been 24 hours and we're going to see what we've got going on here. But before we do that, first thing we want to do is we want to get our smoker chips set up. Now, I like mesquite, but you can pretty much use anything you want. Hickory, some people even use oak. It's just a matter of personal preference. Have these soaking for about 10 minutes, and that's about all I want to do on a gas grill. If you're cooking with charcoal, probably about maybe 20 or 30 minutes, because they're going to be in direct contact with the coals. So we just got a piece of foil with the shiny side up. We want to go ahead and make our smoker pack. Real easy. I had these soaking. I've drained them. Just going to set them right out on here, just like that. And now what we want to do is just want to kind of fold these over. There's a lot of chips here, and that's because these are going to be slow cooking for about 3 hours at about 275 degrees. Low and slow is the way to go. And Just fold this over, make you a nice little pack, even them out, get you some holes in the top. Alright, so our smoker pack is ready to go. We're just going to set this off to the side. Let's see how we got these going on here. Alright. Oh yeah, now that's good because it's beer started to turn a little bit brown and it's actually soaked up quite a bit of the beer. So want to go ahead, get these out of the beer, set them down on a clean platter. Oh mama, yeah. That looks nice there. All right. Okay. All right, yeah, good way you can tell. See how these have already started to turn a little bit white? That's because the beer has already started to go in and actually cook them a little bit. These are going to turn out to be real tender unless something really bad happens. Now, the big argument that's been since the beginning of time is whether to do a dry rub or slather them with barbecue sauce. You know, I can hear Eve right now yelling at Adam because he put barbecue sauce on her dry ribs. But what we're going to do with this, we're going to do a little bit of combo. Just a little bit of each one, so that way it's not too spicy, it's not slathered too much, and there's a little bit of good for everybody. Now, you can spend $30, $40 making your own sauce if that's what you want. This ain't like one of them shows where I got 1,000 little cups around here. No, you can go with a standard, and they're usually great. The two I like best, right here. And for the dry rub, a little bit of Cajun shake works out really great. And for a sauce, good old number 7. We've got beer in it, why not bourbon? Alright, so what we're going to want to do is take a little bit of our Cajun shake here, and we're just going to lightly, is that light enough for you there, Grill Queen?
Yes.
Alright.
Very good.
Just a little bit. We just want to, we're actually not going to rub it in, we're just going to kind of throw it on the top here. Now, since we're going to be cooking over indirect heat, you can go ahead and baste your ribs now, which I kind of recommend because it'll stick to the rib a whole lot better than if you take and you try to baste it in the last 10 minutes or so. And we're just going to kind of make a thin, we're not going to gob it on, we're just going to make a thin little covering for these right here. Yeah, it looks good. Alright. Alright. That's about all we need to do with those right now. Let's go ahead and head on outside and fire up the grill. Okay, so I got the grill preheated and our smoker pack is starting to come up really good. Now, she's at about 450 degrees, which is about where you want it initially. Take your ribs, put them on the center. Ooh, that's already getting tender there. Turn your center burners off. Indirect heat. Heat only coming off of left and right burner. Now, the thing I like about propane is that you can really control the temperature. These want to start to settle down and drop to about 275 degrees, and they're going to cook for about 3 hours. If you're cooking with charcoal, put your briquettes on one side, your meat on the other, and you're going to have to constantly check it if you don't have a thermostat. So there we go, that's pretty much it. We'll see you guys in 3 hours. Alright, so it's been about 3 hours. Let's check them out here. Oh yeah, nice. Now, one of the ways to check your meat to see if it's done, a lot of people do, is cut into it. Never ever cut into a hot piece of meat. It's got to rest for at least 10 minutes. one of the best ways that I learned, it's a little old southern trick, is just take your little toothpick, see if it'll go through the meat. Oh yeah, without almost any resistance, right between the bones. Yeah, now that's done. That's done. So we're gonna go ahead and take these off the grill. Grab this one off too. Here. There we go. Now your meat has to rest for about 10 minutes or so, because they will continue to cook there for a while. Just cover them with a little bit of foil. If you want to, you can set them in a microwave, set them in an oven, wherever you want, but after about 10 minutes or so, they will be ready to tear into. Alright, so everything's done, and the Grill Queen is getting ready to give her opinion how the ribs turned out.
Oh, yes.
What you think? What you think? What you
Yeah,
think?
it looks great.
One way to make sure, or to tell, your ribs are tender
Thank you.
the way that you want them, is you should be able to just pick them up and tear them without very much resistance. There we go.
Oh, nice and tender.
Yeah. I mean, it's still going to have a little bit of pull. Woohoo, woohoo.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have let them rest for about 15 minutes, maybe.
Yeah.
And some of the Grill Queen's famous potato salad there, go ahead and fix you one up, baby. So,
Two.
I am. Oh, don't worry. You ain't got to worry about me. There we go. Anyway.
I'm just gonna take a spoonful right now.
You go right ahead, my Grill Queen. Anyway,
Couple of them. Here you go.
that is baby back ribs. Don't rush yourself, and you will be the envy of the neighborhood, and you can cook like a good southern.
I get the bobbers and the worms. I'll be right over here. Yeah. Cause I'm Joe Man, I go vision. If you wanna go with me, don't bring no sissy camping equipment. Cause we're camping just for free, good lord. Bring the beer, mother. Don't show up unless you're half hour late. Cause if you was a half hour late, pinhead sissy, you're gonna be there half hour before me. Cause I'm gonna be an hour late. What's that? Alright, shut this thing down. I need a break.